Hello, this is Patrick Deglon, the author of the Demeterics platform. In the last video, I show you how you can add an AI chat to your website in 60 seconds. That was on Demeterics.com. This video is for slightly more advanced use cases to automate your work using n8n and the Demeterics Observability platform. So this will be on Demeterics.ai. But before I show you how you can optimize your work with n8n and Demeterics, I'm going to show you how I use it a little bit on the various examples. So this example is n8n, when it's a node-based approach where you just drag and drop piece of activity that you want, and it's a lifesaver. A few weeks ago, I got caught by my wife not being aware of an exam for one of my sons. So I thought, why don't I create an AI agent that will help me? And this flow that I created, and I will do a video on it later on, every day is sending me an email that looked like this. So I get an email nicely formatted with my two sons and action items or recent grades or things to be aware, announcements. So this is one of the examples that is being triggered every day. We'll get some emails looking at some of the school's domains. We'll connect to Canvas. Canvas is one of those platforms for parents. I get one of my son's grades, the other son's grades, and then I use LLM, Gen AI, right? Generative AI, to analyze the grades, analyze the inputs, summarize it, and then send me an email. So that's one of my lifesaver. The other lifesaver is the valuable practice, which change week after week, which is a big mess. This n8 flow will get the master calendars of the teams, extract also the family calendars and make sense of it and send me an SMS, me and my wife, an SMS with, hey, how does today look like? What time do we do what? Maybe more interestingly and impressively is this n8 flow that is running a fully automated YouTube channel. Every day it wakes up, look on, what happened on that date in the history, and then select the history, do some research, deep research about the topic, create the voiceover, the text, create the illustration of the voiceover, create all the metadata for the YouTube video, and then create physically the video and load it automatically on YouTube. So there is, sometimes it's successful. For me, success is like 1,000 views. In that case, 56 likes. And we'll put the link as well. Sometimes it's less successful, right? And nobody liked it, and it's a very limited view. It's a hit and miss. It's more a technical, artistic project of mine. But that is how I use n8n. So let's get started. To get started, you go to n8n.io. You get started here. You can, over time, you get your account name. So I have created one here. I'm going to directly go there. So this is my own Bluefermio, my company application. I'm using it here, for example, for some support email of my other product. When there's an email, there's some analysis. There's another one, which is here a full AI agent with research that is powering up Deglon.ai, which is yet another example of a resume, online resume that one can do. So you can ask questions and it will do research on the resume, research online. So if you are creating a new workflow, you need to start with a step. The simplest step is trigger. You click and then it will do something. But also simple for demonstration is creating a chat trigger. The chat trigger will create a chat at an URL that is hosted. So you can create a chat. You can add an AI agent, and that's one of the most powerful system that n8n has. But for that AI agent, you need to connect an LLM. right? You can go and find an API key on OpenAI, on Groq, on Claude. But the advantage of what we're going to show you now is using Demeterics is you can have one access that will enable you to access OpenAI, Claude, Gemini, Google, and Groq, which is extremely fast, Groq with a Q, and enable you to have full visibility on what's going on, right? Every single questions, how much it costs, how much fast it wants. And sometimes as you get more and more agents, it's really important to understand where is the money going? How much time do you spend? Maybe there's some area, for example, I discovered the other day that the council that was judging some of the voiceover was actually the most expensive piece in my YouTube video. Surprisingly, not the creation of the video itself. So I simplified that piece. So to do that, you need to have an API key. So we're going to start here and add an OpenAI chat model because it's based on OpenAI. And we're going to create here a new credential. So we need to have an API key. So where do we get an API key? So remember, I mentioned Demeterics.com is the AI chat. Demeterics.ai is the place you go. It's the same tool and backend if you want the same token. It's the same user, etc. But you create a API key here. So you go to API keys, create an API keys. We will be using manage API keys, so I'm going to use those 100 credits. We're going to say test chat as a name. You can auto tag an application name, so we're going to call it test, but that's kind of one of the way to find out where is your token going. And you can create. This is your API key. You can copy here. We're going to continue, and that is how we're going to go. So we're going to copy this into this n8n flow. So the API key is here. And then the base URL here, that's the one we need to change. So we're going to copy the base URL here. You see API Demeterics.com. We're going to copy this here. And with that, you should be go. Testing, credentials successful. So now we can open here and you can give it a name actually. Test Demeterics. Okay, and then we can have all the Groq one. So, you know, remember we say OSS, that's OpenAI open source version. 20 is great, 120 billion is even better. In that case, I'm going to do this. And we are good to go. We're going to open the chat. Tell me joke about the weather. So it's running, and sure, here's a weather team chocolate for you. So we have this. I remember told you that you can have it online. So you want to make sure that you make your chat publicity available, that you copy the link here. You want to have saved, and you want it to have active. So you click here. Got it. So it is active, it is saved, and you have copied your URL here. And now if you go to this page, now you have, you know, your AI that you can share with your friends. Where is Paris? And it should roughly go fast, you know, because it's Groq, and Groq is 10 times faster at least than competition because of the type of chipset that you're using. So this is how you can use extremely easily an n8 agents. You can, just for the sake of it, you can edit it a little bit and create a system message, which is kind of the guidance you want, your helpful assistance. You always respond like a parrot, and you only know what a parrot from the 10th century would know. And then we save. And then if I go back here, what is the internet he's talking like the parrots, and I don't think he knows about the internet, because at that point in time, there was no internet. So we were talking about observability. We were talking about the notion of finding ways to understand who is doing what, especially if you have those agents on your website, you want to know how it is going. So this is where it becomes very interesting. So if you go to the places you created the agent here, and you go to interaction, on this interaction, so Demeterics AI interaction, you start seeing every single call that, your helpful assistants, that where is Paris, tell me a joke, and if you click on it, on this button here, or on the view button here, it will open up with a lot of details, the full question, the full answers. It will provide you cost breakdown, right? And that's fairly impressive. You can even go one level up is by having your AI agents access to a different model. Let's say we're going to have the compound model. So compounds. Compound is going to include a lot of tools, ability to connect to the internet. We are going to drop you always respond like a parrot, that's enough. Save. And now we're going to ask it, what are the latest news in New York as of November 31st, 2025. So this is something that an LLM will not know because its training is predate that, maybe early 2025. So what's going to happen here, it's going to do a search, online search, right? And it's going to find the searches. So now if I go back to our observability and get to interaction, we see here that we have the latest Groq compounds, and now we have the text and all the information. But now in the compound AI breakdown, you see that there was just not one question answer. There was 4 interaction between different models that use different level of tokens, so wording questions. And there was one search. The system did a search online, latest news in New York, with 9 results. And here is some more information about the chain of thought, the thinking that he had to answer. So this will provide you great visibility. And then on the dashboard side, you start having a list of activities. So here we just started today as an example. I'm going to show you how it looks when you have more information. Demeterics AI. So this is my dashboard where I use for the YouTube videos. And you can see over time how many interaction, how many discussion, how many calls you have, how much it costs you per day and in total for the last 7 days or 30 days. The number of credit spent, the tokens, kind of the words, not really the word, but think of it as words. The average latency, how much times it waited. In general, it's 2 seconds for an answers. What's the P90 percentile? So the 90% worst. So it's kind of the 90% of the people who use your systems waited less than 11 seconds, right? Which is kind of give you an impression of overall time. And the error rates, you can look after time. You can look after different keys. If you have different keys, you have the n8n keys or different example. The models, you can see all those metrics for the different type of models. The applications, that's application you set. The Deglon AI, the day in history, and others. And then you can also look, for example, at flows. So if I select all my days in history and then select flows here, I will have every single element of the creation of my YouTube videos, the council pick, the story evaluation, the story writing, the building illustration, and the number of interactions, how much it costs. So as I mentioned, the council was the one that's where I spent the most money. The token as well is very large as a general. So with this, between dashboards, between interactions, and using those API keys, you can actually have extremely detailed information about what's working and what's not working. for your agents. And we're gonna, in the following videos, we're gonna dive into more example of n8n using Demeterics. With this, I wish you a happy good day.